What's up, guys? Jeremy back here now, again here with Hex tutorial video, and this is sort of comparing Hex gameplay to Magic the Gathering gameplay. And so we'll jump right in here a little bit and look at a little gameplay footage. And if you watched my Hex versus Magic the Gathering terminology video, you'll see this will help you understand this a little bit more. So you start the game still with 7 cards. You have a library, which you'll see to the right, and a graveyard, which is directly right of that. Each turn you can play a resource, which is just like Magic the Gathering, except in Magic we call it mana. Resources accumulate, and they also power up your champion. This to me is one of the primary and really interesting differences about this game versus Magic the Gathering. So it's imagine, the best way I can describe it is imagine if you always had a Planeswalker and the Planeswalker was your player. I hope that sort of makes sense. So in Hex they basically say the champion represents you, the player. Each champion has charge counters, which can influence your deck, and they also have abilities. So it's sort of like on a Planeswalker when you +1 or -2, things like that. But the MMO part of the game is as you level up your champion, you get better and better abilities. So we get to see a little bit of that in this game. So same thing here. We cast a creature. They call it like an army or something like that card, but it still has summoning sickness. You still tap it when you use it, even though they call that exhausting. And you get, only so many actions per turn, then you pass the turn. So again, more of the similarities here. So you start with 20 life each, and that's the life of your champion. So again, it's like you are the champion. And each time you play land or you do a little something here or there, you get a charge counter. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the opponent's champion now has 2 charge counters on it because they've played 2 lands. And now see, as we play another land, you'll see our charge counter go to 2. Now each champion has like a threshold. So once you get to like 3 charge counters or 4 charge counters, whatever that may be. So for the opponent's champion, I think it's at 3 charge counters, they get to create a Blaze Elemental. Another one might be 2 charge counters, deal 1 damage to target champion and gain 1 health, kind of like Extort. You can activate that as your charge counters fill up and as you see fit, and it also will affect the kind of cards that you put in your deck as you level up your champion and you customize the abilities that are attached with those charge counters. You can get some really awesome interaction. So you can see now he's attacking, which means you turn the card to the side. It's technically called exhausting, and if you can see the numbers, it's a 1-2, so we're sending 1 damage directly at the champion. That champion goes to 19. It's just the same as if your opponent were to go to 19 life, something like that. You start the game with 7 cards, all that same sort of thing. What we're seeing here is the online play. So the thing about Hex is that they're never going to... Oh, actually I should check this now. So our opponent hit his 3 charge counters, and he used his charge counter ability to place a 3/1 Blaze Elemental token. And you'll see the ability says at the end of your turn, destroy this. It's kind of like Spark Trooper in Magic. It gets to attack, it has haste, or in this game it's called speed, and he can attack right away. And now we can choose to block or just let it through. And we have 3/0/1 blockers. So we could put them out there. It's just like Magic. You decide, should we take the 3? Well, it goes away next turn, and now you can see that since they've activated that ability, their charge counter went back down to 0. So different thresholds for different champions, and as you customize everything, that's what's really cool about it, I think. So when you play a resource, your hero gains a charge counter, and there's threshold based on the resource play. So like a blood resource provides a blood threshold, and a ruby resource provides ruby threshold. So this is a little more complex, but it depends on how you... So basically you customize your champion. You don't just pick like the standard champion kind of thing and everyone has the same abilities. As you level up, you can totally customize it at the launch, there's like 20 different champs to choose from in the PvP set alone. So you'll be able to find like the exact one you want. And if you like the kind of Orzhov type of thing, then you find somebody, you take that champion that does that sort of thing, and then you build your deck around it. And so you can play like a lot of different kinds of decks. So this is like a Samurai Bunny guy, and he's playing the Samurai Bunny deck. But as you can see, what's going on here is continuing to play creatures. But now we've played an ability or an instant that says add a 1/1 token onto all your creatures. They call it evolve. But now all of our 0/1s became 1/2s. So it must have been add a 1/2 token. I'm guessing that must be what it is. I missed it, but you get the gist. So basically, you played an instant, it added tokens, just like in Magic. I'm even using Magic terminology really here. And then there's also like the creature we played is called a Conky Bunny, and it spits out little bunnies every turn. Very similar to something that would say produce tokens. Now we're seeing they played a creature. It has speed, which means basically you cast a creature with haste. So if you're watching this gameplay and you're kind of listening to me narrate along with it, it's really not that different than a Magic the Gathering game. You'd make this decision like, well, we're not going to block this because the only creature we have left to block is one that produces tokens every turn. So you just take 3, the champion takes 3, or you take 3, however you choose to see it, and you pass the turn. So there's like a main phase, attack phase, second main phase, just like Magic the Gathering, probably like other TCGs as well. It just depends. And so, fortunately, in this game, you'll still have the ability to get mana screwed. So for those of you worried about losing the ability to get mana screwed, don't worry. You can still not have enough resources to play the cards you want. So just like Magic the Gathering, your resources or your lands untap every turn, and replenish, and then you can use them. So you have 4 resources. Whatever you can cast anything that has up to a 4 mana cost. Sorry about that delay there. So on the anatomy of a card, there's a casting cost in the upper left. It's very, very straightforward. You can see even now that we've used a spell, it's in our graveyard, and it shows us how many cards we have left in our deck. In terms of what I've seen of gameplay, there's a lot of. This is basically creature versus creature. It's it's not like earth-shattering in terms of gameplay, but you can see just from this little 5-minute clip that it plays very similar to Magic the Gathering, but I think the champions definitely add another layer of complexity. So even now we see him playing it's a spell called Burn. It's like 2 damage to target player or champion or creature, just like say a shock or something in Magic the Gathering. So very simple. He has a spell. He can use it to kill a creature, or he can deal damage directly to us. And see here we got Wild Growth. So basically, he's trying to kill our Conky Bunny. Now in response, we're going to make it stronger, make it a 3/4, so the 2 damage doesn't kill it. So, very similar to Magic the Gathering. I'm not saying if that's a good or a bad thing. I just want to expose you to, I think, what could be a pretty cool other option for a second game. Like I said, I'm not going as far to say that it's going to replace Magic the Gathering, especially for me, because I love the game. And because Hex is going to be online only, I still like the collecting part of it, and so you're not going to have any cards in real life either. So, I don't know. The gameplay, I think, is really intriguing. The champion part of it makes it seem really awesome, and obviously the MMO elements and the leveling of your champion, I think, adds a layer of complexity and fun that really Magic is kind of missing. They're halfway there with the Planeswalkers, but I think that aspect of it will make it really fun, and I think people who play Magic now or people who don't will really get into it. So I hope you enjoyed this quick look at some gameplay footage, and the comparison between Magic the Gathering. As soon as I get access to the alpha, which should be very soon, at least depending on when you're watching this video, I'll have actual like interesting gameplay videos narrated by me, played by me, so you'll get even more in-depth footage. So make sure that you take a moment to click that subscribe button so that you get notified every time I upload a new video here on Hex. And if you liked it, please take a second to crush that thumbs up button. And if you want to chat with me about anything Hex related, please post it in the comments section down below, and I really look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again real soon.